भगवते वासुदेवाय बोलो ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय everybody ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय 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 जय जगदीश हरे स्वामी जय जगदीश हरे भक्त जनों के संकट दास जनों के संकट जन में दूर करे everybody together ओम जय जगदीश हरे You are my mother, you are my father, माता पिता You are my friend, you are my foe शरण कहो किसकी You are everything to me Swami शरण कहो किस I'm performing worship to you तुम बिन और न पूजा I'm performing puja और न पूजा आस करो जिसकी bless me I beg of you Om Jai O Lord of the entire universe तुम पूरन परमात्मा I came from you one day I will return to you Swami तुम अंतरयामी पार ब्रह्मा You are the beginning and you are the end पार ब्रह्मा परमेश्वर तुम सबके You are the God of the entire universe Om Jai Jagadish Hare O Vishaya Vikantamita Papa Haro Deva Transform my bitter situations into something pleasing Erase my sins, I beg of you Shraddha Bhav with faith and with devotion Shraddha Bhav Shraddha Santan, all of us together, we sing your praises. Listen to our prayer. Jai Jagadish Hare. Everybody. Om Jai Jagadish Hare. With all your love. Om Jai Jagadish Hare. One more time, everybody. Om Jai Jagadish Hare. Narayan Bhagavan ki Jai. We offer sugar and ghee.
Welcome to the Chatak Kitchen, where it's tastier and spicier. For even more taste, cook with Chatak's Amchar Masala, saffron, ground jeera and black pepper. Mix in Chatak's mild, spicy or Madras curry. Get a burst of excitement with a mango amchar, homsadeh and mango kuchila, lime and pepper chunks, West Indian hot sauce and lime pepper sauce. Plus, Chatak's tamarind and mango chutneys are perfect with kalori and sahina. So make your kitchen a Chatak Kitchen. Chatak's fruit products, bringing good taste to life.
Have you been vaccinated? Are you or a loved one experiencing side effects? Have a loved one suddenly died and you suspect it's from being vaccinated? Report this on Covas.com, Trinbago's own reporting system online to report any mild to severe side effects and even deaths from getting the COVID vaccine. Make your report, whether current or retroactive one, today on Covas.com.
The Little Store offers you a great shopping experience in cool comfort with knowledgeable, helpful staff. Our large aisles and well-organized shelves are filled with quality puja materials, incense sticks, tasty mithai and homemade yogurt. Come to us for all your Indian groceries and spices, SAS paper sahari leaves, household items, sewing supplies, religious books and lots more. You can depend on the Little Store, your store. It's an honor to serve you.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. We have for water. Ganga, Jamuna, Godavari, Saraswati, Narmada, Sindhu, Kaveri, Achmanam, Vinyogaha. We're about now to listen to the Katha. I'm going to continue from where we left off last night. That beautiful Katha of this being, whose name is Angad, and his experience with Ravan. But after Angad leaves the company of Ravan, something is about to happen. Something that will make Bhagwan Sri Ram, who is God, cry. If God can cry, then who are we to say, I don't cry? If Ram could cry, crying is symbolic of showing the emotion of attachment, showing the emotion of pain and discomfort. And something is about to happen to make Bhagwan Sri Ram very uncomfortable. But tonight, as we prepare to listen to the beautiful Katha, we glorify the divine goddess Mata Saraswati. Hamsa Hamsaya Vidmai, Paramahamsaya Dhimai, Tanno Hamsa Prachodhyat. Salutations at thy feet, O Mother Goddess Saraswati. May you be pleased with us. Om Aim Saraswati Namaha. Govinda Hari, Gopal Hari, He Gopi Gopi Bala. Govinda Hari, Gopal Hari, He Murali Dan Lola. We might never be able to understand what Sri Ram is experiencing unless we have had an instance where our brothers or sisters, they were affected by something that could or may cause death. The people who are close to me knows this for a fact. When your time for celebrating come and you invite me, 99.9.9.9% of the time, I will never go to the celebration. But if there is trouble, you're sure to find me. If there is some kind of sickness or something, if there is that, if there is something, you're sure to find me. Because I know that is the time that you need me. And that is the time I make myself present. And I make it known that if there is anything I can do to assist in any way, don't hesitate. Is that true? Is that true? You're afraid to answer? Tonight, immediately seeing Lakshmana on the floor, on the ground, Sri Ram grabs hold of Lakshmana. Uto lakan lal priya bhai, Uto lakan lal priya bhai. Uto, get up, wake up. He's shaking him and trying to wake him up. And Lakshmana is not responding. And Sri Ram, with tears in his eyes, he's saying, Uto lakan lal priya bhai. My brother, my love, my beloved, get up. Open your eye. A day will come when the people closest to us, whom we love and have great affection for, will wish that they could open their eye. We'll wish that they could open their mouth. We wish that they will be able to speak to us. And you know what happened? They can't. Have you given thought to that? A day will come when we too will wish that we could have the opportunity to say something. We might not be able to say something. But do you know there are many people who didn't die and they're very much alive, and though they wish that they could say something, they have to stifle it. They live worse than though they're dead. They live worse than as though they don't exist. That's how they lived. And in some relationships and in some homes, there are husbands who will talk enough with everybody, and the people at home, they're the enemy. You know anybody like that, Munila? Not you though. In some homes, the wife, she's a servant, she's a maid. That's what she is. She can't talk, she has no right to have an opinion. And she's treated as though she's already dead. That's how she's treated. Tonight, Sri Ram is saying, wake up. Wake up. You never know what that experience is like until you see somebody you love in that position. Do you know? Lying in that box. It is one of the greatest pain that you could ever experience. I'm telling you, and I'm getting a little bit frog-like. You hearing the frog? It is one of the greatest pains that you'll ever be able to experience. A pain that what you tried to do, there is nothing that could erase that pain or fill that void. Immediately they called Sushen. And calling Sushen, the physician, Sushen says, don't worry. There is a Jeevani. There is a herb that we can administer to Lakshman that will bring him back to life immediately. And Sushen begins to describe the herb, and Sushen begins to describe where it can be found. Tonight, where can happiness be found? If you have to describe to somebody a place that they could find that thing called happiness, where will that be? Where will you prescribe? Good food, you tell them go to Crave. Where will you go? The only person that can make you happy is, you know who? Who? The only person who could genuinely love you is, you know who? Who? When is the last time you looked at yourself in the mirror and you say, hey, you're real good looking, you know? You ever had that conversation with yourself? You stand up in front of the mirror and you say, oh God, I overfat. Oh God, watch my nose now. Watch the size of my head now. Why my hair couldn't be curly? And the one who have the curly hair say, why my hair couldn't be straight? Even God can't please us. Because you know why? Nothing is never enough. The instruction is given. And without anybody asking, Hanumanji jumps to the cause. And he says, I will go. Jai Shri Ram, Jai Jai Shri Ram. But Ravan knows that Hanuman is going for this Jivan. So you know what Ravan does? Ravan sends a messenger, and Hanuman, who was Lagiman, Gardiman, Prapti, and Hanuman who is faster than the fastest and the son of the wind, Ravan sends somebody before him. Imagine that. Ravan sends somebody before him. There are many Ravans that will come into our lives to try to prevent us from shining and prospering. And they will try to pull us down. But you know what happened? Whether how fast they are, save your energy. For when they put down their shield, you know what happened? You'll be able to attack with full force. The Ramayana is teaching us that tonight. And so, Hanuman is going for a Jeevani. This Jeevani appears to be like a light, a lamp on a tree. And Ravan has lit thousands of lamps all over. Hanuman goes, he knows exactly where he's going, and he knows exactly what he's going for. But when he goes, he sees 1,000 light. He was told he'll see one. He sees 1,000. Somebody ever tell you, open a drawer and you see a white jersey, bring it? And you open a drawer and it have 50 white jersey, and now you're trying to figure out which one? And you carry the first white jersey you see, and they say, oh God, not that one. This one have a print. I want one with no print. Hanuman is confused. So you know what he does? He lifts up the whole mountain. Jai Ram, Sri Ram, Jai Jai Ram. And lifting the whole mountain, what will happen? Listen, it tells us. Om Ramaya Ramabhadraya Ramachandraya Vidhase Raghunataya Nataya Sitaya Pataya Namah. Bolo Ram, Bolo Ram, Bolo Ram, Bolo Ram. Baipakat kah brahmastra लक्ष्मण भजन बो तब लगहि हनुमंत अजने प्रभु दुख मो जामवंत कह विधि सुशील लंका रही कहो पतिलीन्हा धरही न हो रुके हनुमत मोर बोलो राम बोलो राम बोलो राम बोलो राम राम चरण सरजिरो चर प्रभु मस्तक भो उट कह दूत जीवन करहि मन बोलो राम बोलो राम बोलो राम बोलो राम. Hanuman has a mountain. Hanuman is flying. But you know where Hanuman has to pass? He has to pass over Ayodhya, the place where Lakshman and Ram they lived. But there is a security guard in Ayodhya, and it's the dead of the night, and the security guard is awake. He is vigilant. He's awake. He's full of energy. And the security guard, seeing in the reflection of the moon a shadow passing, the security guard immediately places his arrow to the bow. And without even thinking for a moment, he shoots, thinking it's an enemy. And you know what happens? Who is the security guard? Bharat, the brother of Ram. Who is he shooting? Hanuman. And who is Hanuman helping? Bharat's brother. When Bharat sees Hanuman, Bharat says, Hanuman, I shot you and you fell? You have all the power. You have all the might. You could have darted away from the weapon. You allowed the weapon to touch you. And so you fell. And Hanuman begins to tell, you know why? I want to tell you why. I want to tell you. And Hanuman started to narrate what had happened to Lakshman. And Bharat says, well, let me put you to sit on one of my arrows and let me shoot the arrow. And so you'll reach in no time. Hanuman says, you forget? You forget who you're talking to? I have all the power to appear and to disappear and to reach anywhere in any time. But I'm just telling you because I wanted you to know. When Hanuman goes with that mountain and Sushen finds the herb, while Sushen is administering the herb to Lakshman, Hanuman is telling Ram what he experienced. And for the first time in the entire Ramayana, Rama is saying to Hanuman, I am disappointed in you. I am disappointed in you, Hanuman, because you know that the life of Lakshman is depending on the herb, but you went to gossip. You went to tell a story that doesn't even concern Bharat, that will create confusion in the mind of Bharat. You know much people tell us things that don't concern us just to confuse our mind and to create confusion between us and other people? You know anything about me? I say, I hear that already. I hung up the phone long before you done talk. I may know a single thing, you know. But it's just that I don't want to get involved. Tonight, we end the Katha from the Ramayana with that word, disappointed. In the Garuda Purana, it says Hinduism is based on some principles, 4 main principles. The main principles are Satya, Sauch, Daya and Dan. Satya means truthfulness, Daya means, means cleanliness. Daya means compassion. And Dan means charity. It is imperative on every Hindu to observe those tenets of Dharma. But tonight, let us listen to what the Guru Pran says. I ask, when somebody dies, depending on how much people dies in the home, how much grass should we tie? I ask the question, how much shares of food should you take out? Aji, Aja, you might have to cook about 100 ponga jana if you're taking out for everybody. Isn't it? Let us listen to what it says. Ajandere mehe hamai nisan. Sing with me, everybody. Gyan ka suraj chamkare Bhagavan. Sing with me, everybody. Ajandere mehe hamai nisan. Whether how much people dies in the family, whether how much descendants there are, there is only one grass that is required. You only tie one grass and you make the offerings. When is the most appropriate time to perform the worship of the offering of Tarpan? Every day in our life, there are 5 Mahayagyas we are supposed to observe. Every day. Dev Yagya, Rishi Yagya, Pitra Yagya. Pitra Yagya is one of the Yagyas. Every single day you are supposed to remember your Pitras. Every single day you are supposed to pray on behalf of the souls of the Pitras. But in the time of Pitra Paksh, there is no limitation as to when. For the entire time is dedicated to the Pitras. And so there is no limitation that you have to offer the water in the morning or 12 o'clock or 1 o'clock or 3 o'clock. There is no stipulation because it is Pitra Paksh. It is a time, the entire time is dedicated to the Pitras. Pitra Paksh. And that is very logical. Who can offer the Tarpan? Well, you know, everybody I know alive, nobody died yet. But my brother is offered for my father, brother, and well, I want to tell you, you have descendants, whether you acknowledge it or not. You are a descendant. And so you came from somewhere. And the great-grandmother and the great-great-grandmother and all of them, they're depending on the offerings that you're making. So, in that instance, who can perform the ritual? Everybody should perform the ritual. Everybody should perform the rituals of observing the Pitra Paksh. What are the greatest gifts that we can give? The Guru Pran says that there are 7 great gifts that you can give. One of the greatest gifts is Annadan. Anna is food. Annadan. The second gift is Godan, the cow. The third, Bhumidan. Bhumi is the earth, giving of land. And the fourth, Kanyadan. Have you ever heard of Kanyadan before? Giving of the Kanyadan is one of the greatest dans that you can give. But if a father were to do the Kanyadan, giving the hand of a child who is not a Kanya, he has secured going to Narak, to hell. So in order to perform that ritual of Kanyadan, your daughter has to be pure. She has to be pure. And it is one of the greatest dons that you can give. The greatest dons. Sona Dan. Have you ever heard of Sona? Sona Dan. Don't know what is Sona? Gold. The giving of gold. It is a great dan. It's one of the greatest dan. But you know, when you have to give the gold, you find the chunkiest this piece. Huh? The piece that nobody can use and nobody can wear and that you don't want. And indirectly, you're giving your rubbish. You never give anything that is rubbish. This morning, Ashish will tell you, we went to Arima. And Auntie Umla is fighting to take off her band. And Uncle Kumar said, Pandit, I could come back. I want to get up from my baby for a minute. And he goes inside and brings one of his rings. He says, I want to give this. I want to give this. And Auntie Umala say, boy, you're lucky. He gave you something. You're real lucky. Tonight, you do not give what you don't want. You give what you want. You give what you will expect. You give what has meaning to you, not what has no meaning. You have to give something that you're giving, and you know I'm giving with conviction, knowing that if I give this, it will benefit my soul, not my body, my soul, at the time when that comes. Dakshina Dan. Have you ever heard of Dakshina Dan? Dakshina Dan. Deep Dan. Have you ever heard of Deep? Deepa Dan. Vidya Dan. Have you ever heard of Vidya? Knowledge. Sharing of knowledge. Sharing of light. Do you know it is a blessing that when your neighbor building the house and they come and they say to you, lend me a little extension now. Until we get a connection, this one thing will work from your breaker. And after you lend the neighbor the cord, you send a bill for the neighbor and you say, you owe me. You have deprived yourself of a blessing. Deeper down. Ever went somewhere in the night and it's dark, so you turn on the car light? Not for your seeing alone, but for everybody's comfort. Have you ever done that before? You're giving deeper down and you didn't even know that. One night down by the temple, it was dark and they were floating the floor. And Ashish bought about 15 fluorescent lamps. And in my mind I said, look, Dan begin already. He's giving deeper Dan. He's doing that. And he doesn't even know what he's doing. Because the blessing that will come can't be measured. And you're doing it unconsciously. And that's why something will happen positively and you'll wonder, hey, how that happened, boy? How that happened? It's because you have done, you have given of yourself selflessly and not selfishly. You didn't even know you give. So those are some of the dons that can be given. So how much grass the time? 1. When is the appropriate time? Any time. What should be offered to the grass? The offering to the grass is called Tarpan. It is called Tarpan, making the offering. But it is also called Til Anjali. It is called Til Anjali. What is Til Anjali? Til is till. So you're offering till and tulsi leaves, and in some instances rice grains, and that's what you're offering, flowers. But Anjali doesn't refer to the dar. Anjali refers to the vessel that you're using to pour the dar, to pour the water. And so Anjali refers to your hand. The offering is being offered with your hand, and so that's why it is called Til Anjali. How should you hold your hand to make the offering? You hold your hand so that the offering will fall through your thumb and your index finger. For this part of your hand is called the Pitra Tirtha. I told you yesterday. It's called the Pitra Tirtha, and so you make the oblations to the Pitras holding your hand like this. And every time you hold your hand in a different direction, the offering goes to different entities and energies. How much days should we observe Pitra Paksha? Well, I want to tell you. Pitra Paksha is 15 days, you know that? How much days? What is the minimum amount of time we could do the worship? Or what is the maximum amount of time we could do the worship? 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 15. Any amount of days you choose to. We never want to give even. So we choose an uneven amount of days and you fast. The more you do it, the more blessing you'll get out of it. The lazy people say, God, I can't get up in the morning and I can't fast. I can't fast. When I'm fasting, I can't fast. A time will come when God will teach you by force how to fast, You know that? A time will come when Bhagwan will straighten you because you're bent and crooked and you wouldn't wake up. He say you don't want to fast. Lie down on the bed here, no salt, and bread or dead. You ever eat bread and okra? You ever eat bread and pumpkin? Steamed pumpkin with no salt? You ever eat oats with no milk and no sugar? Boiling water? Go San Fernando General. And that's what happens to you because you know why? You're a bhogi. You're only thinking of what to eat and what to eat and what I could eat and bhogi behavior. And God say, you like food? Take food. Take some food. I'm giving you some food. What are some of the gifts that can be given in a time of Pitra Paksha? I'm going to tell you something that will sound contradicting, but the book says, not me. Everything I'm telling you is the book. The book says one of the greatest gifts that you can give in the time of Pitra Paksha is salt. Salt is one of the greatest gifts that you can give. That's why all of the food is prepared with salt in it. It enhances the taste of the food that you're going to give to the guests and to everybody. But salt should be given in dan to the Brahmanas. It should be given. The Garuda says that a person who didn't give salt while they were alive, in their next birth, they're born as Bachakanans. That's what the Garuda says. And it tells, if you didn't give the gift, what could happen to your soul? It tells all of those things. I told one in Palmis Park of the different sins. And when you perform those actions, what you're reborn in your next life as. Can you remember any? When you thief gold, you're reborn as an earthworm. You like gold? Don't thief it, buy your own. When you thief plants, you know, you go everywhere and you see the plant and you say, oh God, I over like it. But they say when you thief it, it is grow better. It's true, you know. It's really true. Because it's a sin. And your sin growing, and you know you thief the plant and then you're picking the flowers and putting it by the murti foot. Jai Jagadisha Hare. That's how we think and that's how we behave. I go to Uncle Bude when I say I love the plant. Uncle Bude say, take it one time. I didn't thief it. I didn't thief it. I ask. And if you ask, you will get anything you ask for. Chances are you will get even more than you ask for. But it's always better to ask than to thief. The Garuda says a person who has stolen plants, knowing that he's stealing it, he's born a peacock in his next life. You think the peacock is a nice animal? In one of the nights of the Ganesh Chaturthi last year, we spoke about the eyes of the peacock and what it is symbolic of in those feathers and what kind of... We spoke about that. Even I remember that. Because you know it had 1 or 2 times I thief a little plant too. So now for my atonement, I have to see what I could do to eliminate that, to erase that. How beneficial is Pitra Puja? How beneficial is worship to the Pitras? These are questions that Garuda asked Bhagwan Vishnu. How beneficial? Let me tell you. You might be performing the ritual. You are performing the ritual. But your son will get the success out of it. Your grandchildren who are not even born yet, they have already secured that blessing because of the worship that you're doing. And the entire lineage is lifted by performing worship to the Pitras. Because Scripture has declared, the Garuda states, that Pitra worship is even greater than worship to the Devatas, even the gods. When a baby dies, what happens? When a baby dies, what should happen? When a mother dies in birth and the baby dies along with her, what should happen?
Have you been vaccinated? Are you or a loved one experiencing side effects? Have a loved one suddenly died and you suspect it's from being vaccinated? Report this on Covars.com, Trinbago's own reporting system online to report any mild to severe side effects and even deaths from getting the COVID vaccine. Make your report, whether current or retroactive one, today on Covars.com.
The Little Store offers you a great shopping experience in cool comfort with knowledgeable, helpful staff. Our large aisles and well-organized shelves are filled with quality puja materials, incense sticks, tasty mithai and homemade yogurt. Come to us for all your Indian groceries and spices, SAS paper sahari leaves, household items, sewing supplies, religious books and lots more. You can depend on The Little Store, your store. It's an honor to serve you. Welcome to the Chatak's Kitchen, where it's tastier and spicier. For even more taste, cook with Chatak's Amchar Masala, saffron, ground jeera and black pepper. Mix in Chatak's mild, spicy or Madras curry. Get a burst of excitement with a mango amchar, homsade and mango kuchila, lime and pepper chunks, West Indian hot sauce and lime pepper sauce. Plus, Chatak's tamarind and mango chutneys are perfect with kalori and sahina. So make your kitchen a Chatak kitchen. Chatak's fruit products, bringing good taste to life.
आज अंधेरे में हम इंसान, ज्ञान का सूरज चमका रे भगवान. Sing with me, everybody. आज अंधेरे में हम इंसान, ज्ञान का सूरज चमका रे. I want to hear you. Everybody sing with me. The Garuda says that when a child under the age of 7 dies, no rituals has to be performed in honor of that child. But the body of that child should not be cremated. The body of that child should be buried. It should be buried. The girlfriend says that when a mother, a wife, she dies in labor and the baby dies with her, they both should be dressed in a color blue and they both should be buried, not cremated. And the girlfriend talks about the different instances where death will come. And when death comes, what should be done with the body when death comes? How the body should be placed to rest? What should happen? Next year we will not have Garuda Puran for 3 nights. Next year we'll have Garuda Puran for 7 nights. We'll listen to more. We'll be able to listen to a little more. I will read the first 3 nights and Nigel will read the rest of nights. Tonight, the mother and the child, they both buried wearing the color blue. The mother alone dies. She's buried wearing the color yellow or cremated. Then there is a choice, there is an option, wearing the color yellow. What color should we put on for a person when they die on the day of the funeral? What color should we be deck the corpse with? Baba, she did over like orange. And if you know, she did like brown too. We could put on brown and orange. And he did like his helmet. We could put it on for him. And you know, he was a welder man. I put in 2 welding rods inside the box. And he did like Broadway. I put in about a cartoon of Broadway. They still have Broadway, by the way. I put in a cartoon of Broadway so he go smoke when he going up. But it's anyway smoke anyway, you know. Because it's up on the creek, or Waterloo or somewhere. Tonight, while you want to put all of those things may cause great distress to the soul. The appropriate offering to make on the day of the funeral is pinda dan. Not cigarette dan, not rum dan, not any of those things. Those are not the things that should be offered. Do you know why it was a tradition long ago that when there is a death, nobody was allowed to play cards? Because the card players get carried away by the game. It is so sweet. They become loud and they become excited. And that causes pain and discomfort to the soul, the screaming and that's why. That's the reason why. That's the reason why you're not supposed to have satsang with music. When somebody dies, you're not supposed to have satsang with music. Because the noise creates havoc and creates distress to the soul. The reading is referred to as being sada. Have you ever heard that before? Sada. It becomes sada Ramayana. The reading has no music in it. Tonight, what color should the body be dressed in? It is a day of surrender. What color flag they put up when they surrender? That's why the flag in front of the hearse is white, Because this person has surrendered. This person can no longer fight. And that's the reason why the jandi, even the bamboo that the jandi on, is wrapped in white. To show total surrender. It is total surrender. Make sense now? The colors that the body should be bedated in. If a woman is married and she dies before her husband, she dies as a bride. She wears her sindoor even on that day of the cremation or the burial. And she's bedated in any bright, brilliant color. But if a widowed woman dies, she is dressed in white. If a man dies while his wife is alive, he's dressed like Bhagwan Vishnu himself, like a Devata. But if his wife has died and he's a widower, he is dressed in white. Simple clothing. We spoke about the clothing in time gone by, about how long time they used to cut the flag. The jandi flag, even the flag that is used in the funeral, is not sewn. It is tied to the bamboo. The philosophy of cutting holes in the flags, we spoke about that in the last Garuda Puran and the last Garuda Puran and the last Garuda Puran. But I'm still going to tell you. The cutting of holes in the flag. Long ago, the majority of people, they were buried. They were not cremated. And the cemeteries, somehow they happen to be hill-like. Most of the cemeteries happen to be hill-like. When you look around and you see for yourself, you will realize that most of the cemeteries, they're hill-like. And people live very close to the cemetery. Some people actually lived in the cemetery. I had an aunt who lived, and the cemetery was right as they opened the back window, the grave right there. And I loved to go because I was fascinated. I wanted to go. I could remember the last man who got buried there. An old man from Jaipal Singh whose name was Maluja. He was the last man that got buried there. I remember because I was spending holiday when he died. And I could tell you exactly where they buried him. But the cemetery is now closed. They lived so close to the cemetery that in the night time when the breeze got high, the flag will flap and make this flapping noise. And it will frighten all the people around. And not only that, it is believed that that flapping song will disturb the rest of the person who is lying in the grave. And we really don't want to wake him up, We want him to rest. So when they made the holes in the flags, the breeze will go through the flag and there will be no flap, 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 flap sound. Make sense now? Nowhere in the book says that you can't put up a jandi that have a pattern, that cut with a star or made. Nowhere says. I went looking everywhere to see if I will find it, and I did not see it. I'm subjected to correction, but I did not see it. I looked and I combed the book. I tried to find where it spoke about the flag. It talks about the flag meaning total surrender. In the time of Pitru Paksha and during our lifetime, there are some gifts we should never give. And there are some gifts we should give. I'll tell you next year in our Garuda Puran. Should I? Govinda Hari Gopal Hari Jai Gopi Gopi Bala Govinda Hari Gopal Hari He Murali Daan Lola. Sing with me. Govinda Hari Gopal Hari Jai Gopi Gopi Bala Govinda Hari Gopal Hari. Now, when I read this, it really piqued my interest because this book was written thousands of years ago, and the book is speaking about things that we use now in our everyday, day-to-day life. The Garuda Puran says one of the number one things or gifts that you should never ever give is anything plastic. How did plastic come intervened in the Garupuran that was written thousands of years ago, and our life kind of plastic, even the money in the plastic yard. Think about that. I became very inquisitive. I wanted to know, how did plastic exist even then? Strange. By giving the gift of plastic, you have secured misery and poverty, the Garupuran says. So the next time you give in food, I don't know where you give it in. You cook to curry, how you give it to curry? One of the top things that you should never give, and I listed some of the top things that we could identify. Your broom, especially the broom that you are using. You should never allow your broom to leave the house. You do not take your broom and sweep your neighbor yard, and vice versa. And you do not lend anybody your Mahalakshmi, your Devi. She leaves the home. She leaves that place. You never give the broom. All your savings and your money go down, down, down. And you wonder, how come? How is this happening? This has never happened. That's one of the reasons why. Steel utensils. I give the old pot spoon because I buy a new one. Long ago, grandmother had one kalchul. She'll chunk it dal in, and that was she mother kalchul, and she great grandmother kalchul, you know. But you get modern. You don't want a kalchul again. Now you want a what? What is it called? A ladle. You want a ladle with a brown handle. Kalchul didn't even have a handle. You had to hold it with a cloth. You all know what the kalchul? You know what is a kalchul? You never gave away those things. You're not supposed to give away those things. By giving away these things, you have secured bad luck. And the relationship in the home begins to suffer because of this. Not me, the Garupuran saying this, right? Not me. You never give used clothes. Never, ever, ever give anybody your used clothes. Never. And think that it is charity. You're not doing charity. If you're giving used clothes, you don't give. Allow them to choose what they want. Especially if it is used. Give it to some place where they will distribute the clothes, or you don't decide that I'm going to give. You're not giving something that you want. You're giving garbage, what you don't want. Oil. You're not supposed to give oil. Oh Lord. The Garupuran says that by giving the gift of oil, you're giving away your Shani, the grahas of Shani. That's why you have to light the diya with the mustard oil and bathe the murti with the jasmine oil and oil. The Garupuran says that when you're giving oil, in order to give that oil so that nothing bad will happen, you must open the oil first. That's why long time they used to pour the oil in a little bottle and put it in the seed. You all know? A chubby bottle or some kind of bottle. And that's how they gave the oil. Not only because that was the means but because they knew it was the right thing to do. They will not go and buy a seed, you know. They'll open up their cupboard and they'll get the bags and full from what they have in their cupboard. Now we go in the grocery and we tell the grocery man, you pack up a bag now. And the poor man don't know where you bought the bag for, so he put a tin of corned beef, and he put a sausage, and he put some sardine. And I could tell you from experience. And you don't even know what you're giving, and poor man chanting the mantra, take it and carry it home, and then everybody come and they see this by his house and they say, you eating that? And you even know who gave it to you or where it came from. You can't even remember, because in your mind you can't begin to think who will do something like that. And you'll be surprised as to how things happen. It happens innocently and the wrong people carry the blame for it. The wrong people carry the blame for it. Never give stale food. Never give stale food. Last night we spoke about food. Never give stale food. When a guest comes to your home, leave what you have in the fridge in the fridge. If you have nothing fresh to give to them, better you don't give them nothing. Cricks and cheese. That's your defense. Cricks and cheese. A few nights ago, I cut up the cheese. I said, Vernon, help me. Let's eat it together. We'll get fat together. Never give stale food. You're souring the relationship that you share with the beings. And that relationship between your family and your friends. And the food you're giving, not even, it doesn't have anything to do with them, you know. But it sours the entire relationship with all the people that you're close to. I became very concerned when I saw this one. You do not give books and pens that are not in a good condition to anybody. You don't give broken pens and torn up books, and you don't give that. You give that which can be used. And if you give that which is in a good condition and can be used, you have secured a blessing. But if you give those things that are not usable, then you know what happened. You have committed a sin. You're giving a palm. I don't know about you, I got plenty licks for having dog hairs in my book, you know. You know about dog hairs? So much so my grandmother wanted to teach me about having dog hairs that she made me sit down one night with the heater and iron out the dog hairs, you know. She said to me something that I say to everybody. Your book is Devi Saraswati. Your pen is Devi Saraswati. Your book bag is Mother Saraswati. You do not walk on your book. You do not cross your pen. You do not jump over your book bag. You do not run over your laptop and you do not cross those things. You should not allow anybody to cross you either. There is a whole philosophy of crossing. Maybe we could get into that. Not tonight. We could get into that, the whole philosophy of crossing. By giving books, now I'm not saying that you can't give the books, you know, that are torn and the pens that are not. But by giving these things, knowing they're not good, you have secured misery and depression for yourself, the Guru Pran says. Listen to the blessing that comes out of that. A knife or a scissor. Be careful. You have secured a stab in the back, the Guru Pran says. Those are the things not to give, some of, that we could identify. And it's very logical. You should refrain. You know, it was a tradition. I had an aunt. Anytime she buys a shoe or a slipper for me, or for anybody, she said, pay me for it first. And you had to give her some faith. Because she believed in her mind that if I give you a slipper, I'm telling you, walk away. If I gave a shoe, I'm telling you, walk out of my life, go. Is that scripture? That is 100% scriptural. It should not just be given, but it should be given using mantras. Then who do you give that gift to? And that person chant mantra? Then that's the person you're supposed to give it to. And true. Not me saying this. The book saying this. What are some of the gifts to give? I'll tell you. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. One of the greatest gifts that you can give I told about the gifts just now, the 7 Maha gifts that you can give. A great gift that you can give that will help to eliminate suffering, the suffering of the soul after death, and a smooth transition is iron. I said to all members of the Ganesh Utsav Foundation, do all you do. But you see, when the foundation is being cast, I want everybody, if it's 1 length, 5 length, 10 length, you remember that? I want you to buy a piece of iron and bring it to put it in the foundation of the temple. The Garud Pran says you don't just give that iron, but you give it a place where a temple or a place of worship will be consecrated. And so you have secured great blessing. The Garud Pran says by giving bricks and material to that kind of, the Garud Pran gives an elaborate explanation as to what happens to the soul. I want to end the Yajna and the Katha at this point. And I want to remind all of our listeners and all of our viewers that the Ganesh Utsav Foundation is in the middle of building our mandir. And so whatever you give, you have secured something for yourself. Don't give because I'm telling you to give. Give because genuinely you want to secure a blessing for your soul. By giving that iron, 7 generations before and 7 generations after received the merits out of that gift. Can you imagine? I thought that this kind of blessing only came from the cow and listening to the Bhagavad, and I was shocked to see. The Garud Pran says that you can't afford to give a mountain. You buy nails and you give it. You buy whatever is within your mean and you give it as a donation. You give. And you genuinely can't go and buy. Then you find out and you give towards the purchase. And so the Garud Pran says you have secured great blessing and merits for your soul and the souls of the Pitras. Tonight, Budram Ji is going to sing for us. And as he sings the beautiful bhajan, we're going to prepare to do the final Havan. And then before we do the Purnahuti tonight, our president will do the expressions of thanks and gratitude.
Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kansa Chanur Mardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadagurum. आए भी अकेला जाए भी अकेला 2 दिन की जिंदगी है 2 दिन का मेला आए भी अकेला जाए भी अकेला 2 दिन की जिंदगी है 2 दिन का मेला ओ नेकी करम कर ले, दुनिया से डरना। ओ काहे तू काहे तू आया जग में, क्या तुझको करना। नेकी करम कर ले, दुनिया से डरना। पाप की अगन में खुद को काहे को ढकेला। 2 दिन की जिंदगी है, 2 दिन का मेला। आए भी अकेला, जाए भी।
2 दिन की जिंदगी है, 2 दिन का मेला।
ओ हर की शरण तू हो जा, ध्यान लगा ले। हर की शरण तू हो जा, ध्यान लगा ले। जीवन मिले ना फिर ये, जीवन को पाले। हर की शरण तू हो जा, ध्यान लगा ले। जीवन मिले ना फिर ये, जीवन को पाले। खेल जगत का सारा उसने है खेला। 2 दिन की जिंदगी है, 2 दिन का मेला। आए भी अकेला। ये जिंदगी है प्यारी, एक झूठ सपना। ये जिंदगी है प्यारी, एक झूठ सपना। गैरों के दुनिया में नहीं कोई अपना। ये जिंदगी है प्यारी, एक झूठ सपना। गैरों के दुनिया में नहीं कोई अपना। सबके रहते हुए मैं हूँ अकेला। 2 दिन की जिंदगी है, 2 दिन का मेला। आए भी अकेला। कोई भी रहा ना जग में, सबको है जाना। झूठे जगत का तूने किया है ठिकाना। कोई भी रहा ना जग में, सबको है जाना। झूठे जगत का तूने किया है ठिकाना। रहा या ना पे कोई गुरु और चेला। 2 दिन की जिंदगी है, 2 दिन का मेला। आए भी अकेला, जाए भी अकेला। 2 दिन की जिंदगी है, 2 दिन का मेला। 2 दिन की जिंदगी है, 2 दिन का मेला।
वृंदावन मेरे लाल की जय। We have for water around the fire. सर्वतीर्थ समायुक्तं सुगंधिं निर्मलं जलम् आचमनम्यादत्त गृहाण परमेश्वर। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम भूर्भुवस्सुवः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो न प्रचोदयात्। स्वाहा इदं गात्रे इदं न मम। ॐ भूर्भुवस्सुवः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो न प्रचोदयात् स्वाहा इदं गात्रेदं न मम ॐ भूर्भुवस्सुवः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो न प्रचोदयात् स्वाहा इदं गात्रेदं न मम ॐ नारायणाय विद्महे वासुदेवाय तन्नो विष्णुः प्रचोदयात् 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 ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ॐ सर्वदेवी सर्वदेवता नमः स्वाहा Before we join in the Purnahuti and the final arti, I'm going to hand over the microphone to the president of the Ganesh Utsav Foundation.
Sitaram, everyone. Tonight is a bittersweet kind of night. It's the last night of our Garud Puran reading. We have learned so much in the last 3 nights from the Garud Puran. And tonight I just want to say that let us start living our lives where God is first all the time, so that when death comes knocking, God is familiar to us and we are familiar to Him. He doesn't have to look at us and say, "Who are you again?" We'll already have that relationship. And while we have the opportunity, let us also say "I love you" to the ones we care about, and not wait for that very last moment when, we don't have that, when they can't hear us, or when we can't do anything but their rituals. I'd like to say thank you to Pandit Sunil for delivering beautiful discourses and for always doing an excellent job. I'd like to say thank you to all members of the Ganesh Utsav Foundation. Too many names to call. Thank you to everyone. I love you. We're a beautiful group, and may Lord Krishna bless us to continue being a beautiful group. Thank you to Robbie especially for working so diligently, ensuring that all puja setup is done and making sure that all of our needs are taken care of. We just have to come here and sit every day and perform puja. Thank you, Robbie. Thank you to all the media who helped us to carry the word to everyone who is viewing and listening. Thank you to the group. They always do an excellent job. Their beautiful voices. Thank you to Sharon. She's the best tabla player. I'd also like to say thank you to my brother-in-laws who have been so supportive as well. My in-laws, my father-in-law, mother-in-law, all of you, I love you very much. Thank you to my family, my children, and my husband. May Lord Krishna continue to bless all of us. A family that prays together, stays together. And that's what we are. Pandit Sunil included. So Sitaram, and see you all tomorrow as we continue our weekly Hawan. You can join us on Facebook.
Vrindavan Bihari Lal ki jai. Every evening we have been privileged to have Papa and Mama Malu. They have done the food for us every evening. They're about the only two people in my life I know that don't know how to say no. I don't know how or what to say to them or about them. Actually, I tell them all the time, so I don't have to tell anybody. The both of you, I want to say, may the blessings and peace of Bhagwan be upon you. We're privileged to have the senior members of the Ganesh Utsav Foundation, Auntie Champa, our most senior. We want to pray that the blessings of Bhagwan will be upon you as well. We've been privileged every single night to have my uncle, Brahman Devata. He sits and he performs the puja every single evening, and Radhika is here with him tonight. But not very often we take the time to say that we love you and we appreciate you, and this evening I want to say that. I want to tell you that though you are not biologically a father to a son, you have two sons, Kiran and I. And you know you can depend on us. This evening I want to say to you that you are a pillar of strength to me. I don't know if you know that. And from childhood till now, I've always admired you for your persona and your humility and your simpleness and your ability to lighten any difficult situation through your reaction, your priceless reaction. And this evening I want to say that you are loved and you are appreciated, and may the blessings of Bhagwan be upon you. I don't want to make the mood sad or slumber, but I'm going to sing a few lines of this song. I'm not sure how far in the song I'm going to reach, but I'm dedicating this to some very special ladies who would have left us. In our group, my grandmother, Mama Iris, and the very foundation members of the group, the mothers especially, they went beyond the call, where they just had to hear prayers and they will fry the palori and they will make the dal puri and they will do anything and everything possible to make the yagya happen. I want to tell you, there are few foolish people in everywhere you go who think that without them nothing will happen. But the reality is it has been happening without them from the beginning and will continue to happen with or without them. And the reality is those beings who have left us, if they were here, they would have been in the front line, and they, invited or not, you couldn't tell them don't come. They would have made it known to me, hey, this is our prayers and we have to come. Tonight, we just lost one of our mothers in the group. We pray that wherever her soul is, may she find peace.
The Little Store offers you a great shopping experience in cool comfort with knowledgeable, helpful staff. Our large aisles and well-organized shelves are filled with quality puja materials, incense sticks, tasty mithai and homemade yogurt. Come to us for all your Indian groceries and spices, SAS paper Sahari leaves, household items, sewing supplies, religious books and lots more. You can depend on the Little Store, your store. It's an honor to serve you. Welcome to the Chatak's Kitchen, where it's tastier and spicier. For even more taste, cook with Chatak's Amchar Masala, saffron, ground jeera and black pepper. Mix in Chatak's mild, spicy or Madras curry. Get a burst of excitement with a mango amchar, pomsadeh and mango kuchila, lime and pepper chunks, West Indian hot sauce and lime pepper sauce. Plus, Chatak's tamarind and mango chutneys are perfect with palori and sahina. So make your kitchen a Chatak kitchen. Chatak's fruit products, bringing good taste to life.
Have you been vaccinated? Are you or a loved one experiencing side effects? Have a loved one suddenly died and you suspect it's from being vaccinated? Report this on covars.com, Trinbago's own reporting system online, to report any mild to severe side effects and even deaths from getting the COVID vaccine. Make your report, whether current or retroactive one, today on covars.com.
Oh my, oh ओ माँ, ओ माँ, तू कितनी अच्छी है, तू कितनी बोली है, प्यारी प्यारी है। ओ माँ, 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 ओ माँ. Tonight, put your hands together. Pray with me as we pray that Bhagwan will bless our pitras. If those souls are in bondage, we beg for Chama. If those souls are in suffering, may you bless them, we beg of you. And if those souls have gained liberation, may you guide us onto that pathway, we beg of you, Bhagwan. Anadini Tanu Deva Shankha Chakra Gadadhara Akshaya Pundari Kaksha Preta Moksha Pradur Bhava Yatra Yogeshwara Krishna Yatra Pato Danurdana Tatra Sri Vijayo Bhutar Dravani Tirmantar Mama Karadavindena Paradavindam Karavinde Viniveshyantam Vatrasya Patrasya Puteshyanam Banam Mukundam Manatas Marami. O Ma, 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 O Ma. Let us all stand. Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudakshate Purnasya Purnamadhaya Purnamevavashishdate. Om Sarvam Ve Purnagam Swaha. Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna sing with me everybody. Krishna Krishna Hare Hare. In your homes, stretch your hands towards the fire and bow. Om Anala Namaha, Om Anala Namaha, Om Anala Namaha. We wave the arti, praying that the souls of the pilgrims will never be in darkness. We beg of you, listen to our prayer. Listen to our prayer, O Bhagwan. और दुखे दुख हरो ही तुमने, हमारो भी दुख हरो गोपाल. ओ बनवारी कृष्ण मुरारी, ओ बनवारी कृष्ण मुरारी, नाथ नगर नंदलाल, हमारे दुख हरो गोपाल. नाथ नगर नंदलाल, हमारे दुख हरो गोपाल. और दुखे दुख हरो ही तुमने, हमारो भी दुख हरो गोपाल. जमुना तक पर श्याम मुरारी, आई गोकुल की नर नारी. जमुना तक पर श्याम मुरारी, आई गोकुल की नर नारी. जमुना की सूते सूते बे की प्यासे भूते, आस लगाए सब बेटे. आओ ब्रिज की बात, हमारे दुख हरो गोपाल. दुख हरो गोपाल। ओ दुखी दुख हरो हे तुमने, हमारो भी दुख हरो गोपाल। हमारो भी दुख हरो गोपाल। हमारो भी दुख हरो गोपाल। हसतो मां सद्गमय, तमसो मां ज्योतिर्गमय। मृत्योर्मामृतं गमय, मृत्योर्मामृतं गमय। कायेन वाचा मनसेन्द्रियर्वा बुद्ध्यात्मना वा प्रकृति स्वभावात् करोमि यज्ञं सकलं परस्मै नारायणायेति समर्पयामि। अच्युतं केशवं रामनारायणं कृष्ण दामोदरं वासुदेवं हरे। श्रीधरं माधवं गोपिका वल्लभं जानकीनायकं रामचन्द्र भजे। जानकीनायकं रामचन्द्र भजे। Tonight, we send our love to the souls of our Pitras. And tonight we pray peace, we pray happiness, we pray comfort, we pray luxury, we pray santosh, contentment unto the souls of our Pitras. Tvameva mata sapita tvameva, Tvameva bandosya sika tvameva, Tvameva vidya dravinam tvameva, Tvameva sarvam mama deva deva. Dyo shanti antariksham shanti prithvi shanti apa shanti oshre shanti vanaspate shanti vishwadeva shanti brahma shanti sarvam shanti shantireva shanti sama shantiridhi bhavatu. Om Shanti Om. Sing with me, everybody. Om Shanti Om. Om Shanti. Om Shanti Om Shanti Om Shanti Om. Vrindavan Mere Lal ki jai, Satya Sanatan Dharma ki jai. Let us all be seated. This evening, one of the most senior members of the Sita Hal family, my Uncle Raj, all the way in Orlando, he's celebrating his birthday. But this evening also in our group, the Swami himself is celebrating his birthday. And so we want to wish them a very, very happy birthday. To my Uncle Raj, I love you. And so, may the peace and the blessings of Bhagwan be upon you. May you continue to be that strong-minded, devout bhakta of Bhagwan that you are. The key to living a happy life and the key to living a long life is not to plan to live forever, but to leave behind a legacy that lives on long after you die. That bhajan that he is singing, he has recorded that bhajan and it can be played on a CD. But he is reading from the words of the late Pastor Misir, where he wrote in his handwriting the bhajan. And I know it is his handwriting because when you look at the book and you see the writing in the book, it's the very same writing on the page. So I know it is his handwriting. Though he is not here physically, his name came up in this yagya how much times? Because he lives on. Great people always live on. And whether what anybody's interpretation of you is, you're great. Greatness lies deep within your heart. You're great. But do not allow people to recognize your greatness when you're not here. Allow them to recognize your greatness while you're here. I always say eulogize each other while we're alive. I just said to Uncle Puteva, I love him. Tell each other I love you while they could hear. I say to everybody in this room and to everybody most of those who are looking on, I always say I love you. But I didn't just say that to you. I mean that. Tonight I want to tell you that you are special and you are great. And though your body might die and you might cease to exist physically, leave something behind that will live on. Leave something behind that will live on. Tonight I gave him the words, and I could tell that the soul of Baba will be smiling, because though he is not here physically, his writing, his words, they're being sung in the Yajna. Who will remember anything about us? Said one of the nights, thank God it have a 10 days and a 13 days and a 1 year. Because while you're alive, they forget to imagine you're dead. What will happen? That's a fact. Is it true? Tonight, sing with me, everybody. Jai Krishna Hare, Sri Krishna Hare. Everybody. Dukhiyon ko dukh dur kare. Jai 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 Krishna Hare. Sing with me. जब जान तरफ अंधियारा हो, आशा का दूर किनारा हो। जब जान तरफ अंधियारा हो, आशा का दूर किनारा हो। और कोई न जीवन हारा हो, फिर तू ही मेरा पार करो। जय जय जय। तू चाहे तो सब कुछ कर दे, विष को भी अमृत कर दे। एवरीबॉडी। तू चाहे तो सब कुछ कर दे, विष को भी अमृत कर दे। पूरन कर ले सबकी आशा, पूरन कर ले सबकी आशा। जो भी तेरा ध्यान धरे, फिर जो भी तेरा ध्यान धरे। जय 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 कृष्ण हरे। तेरा दर्शन को मैं तरस रहा, तेरा नाम भी माला जपते रहूं। तेरा दर्शन को मैं तरस रहा, तेरा नाम भी माला। बहुसागर में तेरी नैया, भवसागर में तेरी नैया। जन्मी जाएगी नारा हो, फिर जन्मी जाएगी नारा हो। जय 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 कृष्ण हरे। Everybody sing with me. जय कृष्ण हरे। जय 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 कृष्ण हरे। बोलो बोलो वृंदावन कृष्ण चंद्र की जय। शरणम सत्य सनातन धर्म की जय।